The torment of the grave. According to Islamic scholars, the torment of the grave is a part of the afterlife and is the state of torment or blessing that the soul and body will be subjected to in the grave. The torment of the grave is referred to in various verses in the Quran. This torment is defined as a punishment that will last until the day of judgment, especially for unbelievers and sinful believers. Here are some important verses about the punishment in the grave. Verse 46 of Surah Al-Mu'min, they will be brought to the fire morning and evening. This verse indicates the existence of the punishment in the grave. Verse 25 of Surah Nuh, they were drowned for their sins, then they were thrown into the fire. Here it is emphasized that the punishment in the grave will come immediately afterwards. Verse 21 of Surah As-Sajdah, we will surely make them taste the nearer punishment before the great punishment, that they may return. This verse indicates that people will be subject to a punishment or a blessing in the grave according to their deeds in the worldly life. The Prophet, peace be upon him, heard the voices of some people being tortured in the grave and sought refuge in Allah regarding this matter. In addition, situations such as being squeezed in the grave are also included in the hadiths. The nature of the punishment in the grave, the relationship between the spirit and the body in the punishment in the grave. All al-Sunnah scholars have said that the torment in the grave affects both the soul and the body. Scholars such as Imam Ghazali have stated that the soul will be tormented along with the body. Duration of the torment in the grave. Unbelievers and major sinners Muslims, the torment in the grave will continue for this group of people until the day of judgment. Muslims with few sins, the torment in the grave may be temporary for these people. The interrogation process. The interrogation process in the grave is also an important issue. Angels Munkar and Nakir. These two angels question the deceased about his faith. According to the al-Sunnah, the soul is returned to the body during this interrogation. Types of torment in the grave. Torment in the grave refers to the state of torment that the soul and body will be subjected to after death. Here are the types of torment in the grave and their details. Compression in the grave. It is stated in the hadiths that the compression of the grave, narrowing of the grave, is one of the forms of torment. This situation occurs depending on the person's sins. Showing their place in hell. People who are suffering torment in the grave are shown their place in hell morning and evening. This situation creates fear and torment in the person's soul. There are hadiths on this subject in Bukhari and Muslim. Types of physical torment. In some hadiths, the types of torment in the grave are described as follows. In a coffin of fire, a person is tormented in a coffin of fire. Dragging their intestines, people who drag their intestines because of their sins. Vomiting blood and pus, those who speak obscenely vomit blood and pus. Eating their own flesh, those who backbite eat their own flesh. These types of physical torments vary depending on the sins the person committed in the world. The questioning process. The questioning process in the grave is also a part of the torment. The angels Munkar and Nakir question the deceased person's faith. During this questioning, the soul is returned to the body and the person faces the consequences of their actions. Munkar and Nakir are known as the two angels who question the deceased in the grave in the Islamic faith. These angels ask the person in the grave various questions to determine the state of the soul after death. Here are the questions asked by Munkar and Nakir. Who is your Lord? This question is asked to measure a person's faith and devotion to Allah. What is your religion? While Muslims are asked about the religion of Islam, the beliefs of those who belong to other religions are questioned. Who is your prophet? This question is asked to test the person's knowledge about our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. What is your book? This question asks whether or not the person has knowledge about our holy book, the Quran. Where is your Qibla? It is asked whether or not Muslims know the location of the Kaaba, which they turn to during their worship. What is your belief? It is asked to learn about the person's faith and sect. What is your deed? It is asked what the person's deeds are and whether or not they comply with Islam. Importance of answers. Those who answered correctly, believers should answer these questions correctly. If they do, their graves will be widened and a window will be opened to heaven. These people will remain in peace until the day of judgment. Those who gave incorrect answers, people who are unbelievers or hypocrites cannot answer these questions correctly and their graves will be narrowed, a window will be opened to hell. In this case, they will begin to suffer. In conclusion, the torment of the grave is the torment or blessing that the soul of an individual experiences in the realm of Barzakh, where it temporarily lives after death. The torment of the grave is shaped according to the person's deeds in the worldly life. While it becomes a temporary blessing for those who do good deeds, it will be a permanent torment for those who do bad deeds. Let us not forget that our Prophet sought refuge in Allah from the torment of the grave. May Allah protect us from the punishment of the grave and hell, inshallah.